Chapter 5. Mama, go get him. 17 years after my brother Gordon kissed the floor and blessed our good fate, Maddie stood in the kitchen and reached for her coffee. It was a little before 8. Why was I so late, she wondered, and why didn't I answer as she called my name? And come to think of it, why had I acted so strangely when she last saw me, the day before yesterday? After my visit, she had walked me to my car and kissed me goodbye. She then took a seat on her front porch, and for some reason, I just kept driving around the block and returning to say goodbye, again and again. "What's wrong with you?" she yelled at me as I peered at her out the window of my car. "I don't know," I had answered, smiling uneasily, then repeated, "I don't know." She just shook her head and smiled. And I did it again and again, just kept driving around the block. It was like the car was on autopilot, stuck on a track. Something would not allow me to leave. After my 6th or 7th pass, I broke free and drove away. She blew me a kiss goodbye. Finally, I headed home. Now, the footsteps that had fallen through the house came to a complete stop, just a few feet away from where Maddie stood in her small kitchen. She replaced her half-finished cup of coffee on the counter. She turned to her left and stared into the hallway. In the back bedroom of the house, my brother Neil and nephew Ivan slept soundly through the early morning hours. Neil, age 33, was on disability and working through some psychologically tough times. He had returned to the family home in an effort to restore some order and stability to his life. He enrolled in a local community college where he became obsessed with learning, no matter the subject, with the pursuit itself giving his life a new purpose. At one point he said, "Algebra saved my life." Due to his intensive studies, we began calling him Dr. Neil. Maddie was so inspired, she decided to realize one of her dreams. Finally free after 30 years of childbearing, she earned her high school GED. Ivan, 14 years old, was like his 8-year-old little brother Damon, visiting his grandmother for the last weekend of summer. Ivan loved playing football with the family, and like his relatives, had been caught up in the Olympics. For Ivan, a sports-obsessed youngster in a sports-obsessed family, it didn't get much better than this. Finish out the last week of summer hanging out with his all-pro uncle, take in the Olympic afterglow, and talk sports in LA's golden age. The Rams went to the Super Bowl in 1980. The Dodgers won the World Series in 1981. The Showtime Lakers won the NBA championship in 1980 and 1982. Just after 8 o'clock in the morning of August 31st, Ivan is torn from sleep by the sound of gunshots and breaking glass. He hears bullets crashing through the walls and a woman screams. Ivan sees his uncle Neil jump out of bed and run from the room. In the hallway stands a black man with a long gun. Someone screams Neil's name, then more gunshots. Ivan rushes into the bedroom closet and shuts the door. His mind cannot grapple with what takes place. He keeps asking himself if this is real or just a dream. If it is a dream, he cannot break free. From the darkness, he hears wrestling and thumping, the sounds of a struggle. He fears they will find him. He then hears footsteps running through the house. Again, he cringes, pictures the closet door suddenly thrown open. He hears the sound of the back door opening and shutting. More hurried footsteps. Again, the back door opens and shuts. Footsteps recede outside the house. Then silence. Ivan waits and waits. Continued silence. Slowly he cracks the door. A sliver of light jabs into the pitch of the closet. His eyes adjust as he peers through the opening. The telephone rang for the 3rd time before I came to. I was asleep in my Hollywood home, about 10 miles from Maddie's. I looked at the clock. It was almost 8:30 a.m. I had overslept. I had little doubt who was calling. It would be Maddie trying to figure out what happened. Why was I so late? What was I doing? Oh boy, I thought as I shook the sleep from my eyes. She was really going to let me hear it. Partly in jest, but with an underlying note of gravity, she would let me know that I had dropped the ball, let her down. It was ironic because I was especially excited about meeting with her that day. I had some good news I had been looking forward to telling her, but the anticipation of sharing a triumph with one person who would most appreciate it left me unable to sleep. I often found that Maddie's reaction to my good news was better than the good news itself. It was always so inspiring to talk with her. I couldn't wait. And due to my excitement, I had gone to bed late and then overslept. On Thursday, the day before, I had been hired to be the play-by-play color analyst for the UCLA football. I was back in the game. It felt like a kind of homecoming. I withheld the news from Maddie so that I could tell her in person. She had supported my football career from the start and had been so excited when I went to UCLA and then when I returned from San Francisco in 1970 to play for the hometown Rams. Now she would be thrilled that I was back with my old alma mater. For me, it was another dream. It started as a glint, but it was turning into a full glow of a plan. I wasn't going to be just another retired athlete who faded away. For as soon as one even considered retiring, all of the limitless possibilities of the field were replaced by the realities of life after football. You were great in the arena. Now what can you do? Hope dims as retirement looms. The fear of the athlete, where the peak comes so young. All-American by 20, All-Pro by 30, forgotten by 40. But now I felt I might find another direction, post-NFL. As I reached for the phone, I readied myself to go on offense. I would preempt your question with a quick apology and the announcement that I had some good news for her, that I was dressing as we spoke, that I was on my way out the door, and I would be there in minutes. Hello, Maddie? I'm so sorry, I prepared to say as I picked up the phone mid-ring. But before I could finish hello, I was interrupted. Kermit, my brother Neil struggled to say, sounding like he was panting. It was hard to hear him. He sounded like a child, unable to catch his breath through the tears. My first thought was that poor Neil was having another episode. What a shame, I thought. Lately, he seemed to be doing so much better. Kermit, Neil's voice cracked. Why did they do that? Now, fully awake by a family member's trauma, I went into problem-solving mode. First goal, help Neil settle down, subdue his demons. What did they do? I asked in my calmest, it will be alright voice. More panting, shadow breaths. Why would they mess up Mom like that? As I drive the 10 miles to my mother's house, every ounce of my steel self-control is on trial. I'm aggravated by the plodding rush hour traffic. The time approaches 9 a.m. This will take forever. My mind screams, why hadn't I been there? How could I have let this happen? I fear I'm going to lose it. From the Hollywood freeway, I merged onto the Harbor freeway. Stop and go, then bumper to bumper. Moments of acceleration, and I punched the car forward. False hope, false starts. The maddening ebb and flow of the Southern California freeway. The traffic again stalls out, grinding to a halt. But it couldn't be real. None of this is real. Not real, I keep telling myself. Who would hurt Maddie? Why would anyone hurt her? She is beloved. She is known to be the nicest lady in the neighborhood. She is a community treasure. No, this is not really happening, I reassure myself. And once I arrive at the house, I will learn what a cruel hoax has been played. Please, God, clear up this mess and let things be right. I turn off the Harbor freeway at the Slauson Avenue exit. I drive through the old neighborhood. The mirage has already faded. The streets, so recently resurrected by Olympic gold, now revert to form. A landscape bleak and indifferent, where brother wastes brother with no second thoughts. Searching for anything upon which to anchor hope, I replay the night of the Watts riots. I sat there, watching the smoke and flames, the chaos in the streets. My family was at its epicenter. The neighborhood burned. I couldn't get through, but they did. They made it, and they would make it again. They must. I braced myself for the turn onto West 59th Street, ready to see the house known for nearly 20 years as the Alexander House. Please, I pray, just give me the normal and familiar. Children playing, bicycles spinning, neighbors gossiping. The heart pounds. I turn on the West 59th. The heart breaks. A mass of emergency vehicles blocks the street. Yellow police tape cordons out the front yard. Hundreds of strangers gawk. I instantly feel that the family home no longer belongs to us, already overtaken by tragedy and spectacle. On the sidewalk in front of me, several neighbors are crying. I hear one talking to a police officer. I catch the tail end of her sentence. They were very nice people. Another neighbor, she never did anything to anybody. A third, I don't know who her enemy would be. She is a lovely person and has lived here for about 15 years. I just can't believe they do it to Miss Alexander. From the back of an ambulance, a gurney is removed and rolled toward the house. A neighbor across the street collapses onto her lawn screaming. I see my family huddled in anguish. My sister Joan is hysterical, trying to rush into the house as two officers restrain her. The sun continues to arc over the horizon. Tall, still palms cast long, distorted shadows. Convulsing, Joan shrieks at the officers. My mother's in there. Tell me what happened. Nearby, a girl hangs onto her mother to keep from collapsing. She wails, "They're not dead. Mama, they're not dead. Mama, go get them. They're not dead."